Let me tell you about the most expensive lesson I almost paid for. Back when I first started figuring out how to help people monetize what they already know, I'm talking about their job skills, their expertise, the things they could do in their sleep. I almost went down a road that would have cost me everything I'd built. Not money, not time, something worse. Credibility. Yes, credibility. And the reason I almost made that mistake is the same reason you might be about to make it right now. See, when we talk about monetizing skills in 2026, everybody's rushing to tell you what to do. Build a course, start a coaching program, create a digital product, post on LinkedIn every day. But nobody is sitting you down and saying, before you do any of that, here are the things that will quietly kill your results. Here are the traps that smart, capable professionals fall into. Here is what I would personally avoid. Nobody. And I'm not talking about theory today. I'm talking about what I have seen in my own clients, in my journey, and in the patterns of thousands of professionals who almost got it right. In fact, one of these mistakes is so common that I have seen brilliant people. We're talking about CPAs, HR directors, finance executives, sitting on real sellable expertise and making this one move that makes buyers disappear. I'll show you exactly what it is, and I can't guarantee it's not what you think. So what am I asking for? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to have a completely different lens on what it actually takes to monetize your skills in 2026. So quick context, so you know why I am the right person to talk to you about this. In 2013, I was a university student studying statistics in Uganda. A business association hosted a breakfast with the late Dr. Miles Monroe. It cost 150,000 Ugandan shillings, about $100 US. I was the only student in the room. Every other seat, was occupied by senior executives, business owners, decision makers. And in that room, something shifted in me. I realized I was not built for numbers. I was built for people. I was built to change lives. I discovered that for myself. But here is the part of the story I don't always tell you. For years after that, I kept making mistakes. I trained young people under trees, in big halls. I moved around the country with the contract with World Vision, with Compassion. I launched financial academies. I started a telemedicine company called NetDoc. Now it's across 4 countries. Because, of course, I lost my father to a heart attack in 2018, and I needed that loss to mean something. So we created with my brother, we created telemedicine software. Every single one of those experiences taught me something. But the biggest lessons I learned were not about what to do. They were about what to avoid. What to avoid. All right, mistake number 1. And this one is personal. If I were starting over in 2026, the first thing I would avoid is chasing someone else's offer model instead of building from my own skill. Think about your career the way a geologist thinks about land. Underneath every year you spent in your profession, underneath every problem you solved at 11 p.m. before a board meeting, underneath every system you build from scratch, there are diamonds. Not metaphorically diamonds, real, sellable, high-value solutions that other people will pay for. But here's what most professionals do. They look at someone selling a social media course or a digital product about productivity or a real estate masterclass, and they think that's what success looks like. Let me do that. And so they leave their diamond, yes, yours, and go dig someone else's land. I worked with a woman, a CPA, Director of Finance, 18 years of experience managing complex donor-funded portfolios for international NGOs. When she came to me, she had been looking at what everyone else was doing, wondering if she should create maybe a budgeting course for individuals, maybe a personal finance product, something of that kind. But that was not her diamond mine. Yes, that was not her diamond mine. Her diamond mine was in non-profit financial reporting, board ready, donor ready. Her diamond mine was in non-profit financial reporting, board ready, donor ready. The exact pain that keeps NGO finance directors up at night. So working together in my King's Code Premium Coaching, we built our first offer around that. She now runs the Financial Reporting Clarity Insight Program, helping non-profit leaders get their reporting clean, credible, and conference room ready. That is her land, and she is rich in it. So the key principle here, you cannot outsell someone on their own land, but nobody can touch you on yours. Stop trying to be a version of someone else's success. Start extracting value from what you have already mastered. Mistake number 2, and this one I need you to write it down. I would avoid packaging a skill before validating a problem. Yes, I would avoid packaging a skill before validating a problem. You know that feeling when you build something, you spend weeks on it, you are proud of it, you pour your heart into every slide, every module, every lesson, and then you put it out there and nothing. That's not a marketing problem. That is a sequencing problem. Most people package, then hunt for a problem. The right sequence is this: find the problem, then package the solution. You see, I'm a student of Myron Golden. One of the things he says that I've never forgotten is this: you're not selling the drill, you are selling the hole in the wall. People do not want your offer, they want the result your offer produces. But then, here's the part that gets people. If they do not feel seen in the problem, they will never believe in your solution. Oh yes, think about what I'm saying. If they do not feel seen in the problem, they will never believe in the solution. Let me bring this to life for you. So one of my clients, Catherine Mahome, FCII, CEO of AssureLink Insurance Brokers, co-founder of the African Insurance Women Association. She holds the highest professional qualification in insurance in the world. When Catherine first came to me, she wanted to package everything she knew about insurance into one program. An encyclopedia of her expertise, she says. But that's not what the market was looking for. What was the actual problem her ideal client had? Rising insurance leaders who were technically capable but had no pathway to senior influence, no mentorship, no structured development. That problem had a name, so we named it. And then we built our offer around it, the Insurance Leadership Accelerator. And guess what? It sells. 2026 truth is this: before you build anything, ask yourself this: what is the problem my ideal client is typing into Google at 11:32 p.m. on a Tuesday when they are frustrated, anxious, and looking for answers? If you can describe their problem better than they can, they will automatically trust that you have the solution. Okay, mistake number 3. And this is the one I teased you about at the beginning. This is the mistake I have seen brilliant professionals, I'm talking about CPAs, HR directors, finance executives make. The one that makes buyers disappear. Here it is: I would avoid selling knowledge instead of selling transformation. Oh yes, I would avoid selling knowledge instead of selling transformation. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is the one. Let me ask you something. When you watch the Iron Man, I am a Marvel person. I admire it. When Tony Stark builds a new suit, does he show you every circuit, every line of the code? No. He shows you what the suit does. He shows you what becomes possible when you put it on. That is the difference. A lot of professionals, when they monetize their skills, make the mistake of leading with knowledge. I know a lot about HR, they say. I have 20 years in finance, they say. I have consulted for major corporations, they say. That is impressive. But your ideal client is not buying your resume. They are buying the transformation that your resume makes possible for them. Knowledge is a tool. Transformation is the goal. People pay for the goals, not tools. So Ruth, a CPA, CPHR, HR manager, public institution, Nairobi, working with her, we did not just package what she knows about HR. We translated her knowledge into a transformation that her clients could see, feel, and want. She now helps burned out corporate professionals find work that aligns with their true selves. That is not HR information. That is a life change. And that's what people write checks for. That's what people send you their mobile money for and M-Pesa for, whatever part of Africa you're in and the world. So really, don't ask what you teach. Ask, what does your ideal client's life look like after they work with you? That answer, that transformation, that is your real offer. All right, mistake number 4. And I said this with love, with a lot of love. I would avoid waiting until you feel ready. You know what? Let me ask you this differently. Have you ever met a corporate professional who felt completely ready to step into monetizing their skills? Because I can tell you I've worked with hundreds of people, hundreds. And I have never, not once, had someone knock on my door and say, Coach Richard, I feel fully ready, fully prepared, completely confident, no doubts at all, let's go. Never. Hasn't happened. You know who also waited to feel ready? Good Will Hunting. Yes, Will Hunting, played by Matt Damon. He's a genius. He could solve equations that stumped MIT professors. But for most of the movie, he is sweeping floors in a university hallway. Not because he wasn't capable, because he didn't feel worthy. And it took someone sitting across from him, his therapist, played by Robin Williams, to say, it's not your fault, but it's your choice. I like that line. It's not your fault, but it is your choice. The world does not need you to be ready. The world needs you to be available. So really, what would be a 2026 reality check? The market's not waiting for a perfect version of you. It is waiting for the current version of you who is willing to show up and solve a real problem for a real person right now with what you already have. Catherine Oshak was a head of technology. Then she got fired. And for a while, that felt like the end. But then working together, we took what felt like her worst chapter and turned it into the greatest asset. She now runs a transformation coaching practice for women whose worlds have been shattered by betrayal, by dismissal, by shame. And she guided them using her comeback code. She was not ready. She was willing. And that made all the difference. Last one, mistake number 5. If I were monetizing skills in 2026, I would avoid trying to build a business before building an offer. I see this constantly. People want the website before they have the offer. They want the brand before they have the client. They want the Instagram aesthetic before they have the results. A website with no offer is just a digital business card nobody asked for. Here's what I have found. The 2 phases of a builder that I teach. Phase 1 is extraction. Phase 2 is packaging. And here's the thing most people skip. You cannot package what you've not yet extracted. Think about what I'm saying. You cannot package what you haven't extracted. Before you think about sales funnels, email list, the YouTube thumbnail, yes, even thumbnails, you need one clear, well-defined offer that solves one specific painful problem for one type of person. One. When you have that, everything else is just a distribution. Oh yes, just a distribution. But without it, you are driving fast in the wrong direction. You're driving so fast, but in the wrong direction. So, I think I get this from the GPS principle. See, an offer is like a GPS destination. You don't need to know every turn before you start, but you have to punch in the address fast. Without a destination, every road looks equally valid and you end up nowhere. So let me pull this together. In 2026, if you're a corporate professional sitting on years of expertise, trying to figure out how to turn that into income, here is your short list of things to leave behind. Stop chasing someone else's offer model. Dig your own diamond mine. 2, stop building before you validate. Find the problem before you package the solution. 3, stop selling knowledge. Start selling transformation. 4, stop waiting until you are ready. The world needs you available, not perfect. 5, stop building a business before you have an offer. So one offer, one problem, one person. These are not trendy tips. I know that. These are principles. And principles do not expire. Oh yes. Whether it is 2062, they are still alive and they still work. Now, if you want to go deeper, if you want to actually sit down and do this work, extract your skills, package a real offer, and start monetizing what you already know, that's exactly what we do inside our King's Code Premium Coaching. The link is in the description. For the first step is the clarity call, around 20 to 30 minutes, no pitch, no pressure, just clarity on whether we are the right fit for where you are going. We see where you are and where we want to go, and we'll be able to tell you what you need to do. I paid $100 in 2013 for a breakfast that changed my life. I don't know what this video cost you, except maybe 10 minutes. I hope it was worth it. If it was, share it with one professional in your circle who needs to hear this. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button now, because we are just getting started. I am Coach Richard Olo, and I will see you in the next one.